Welcome back to the channel, Little Flexers. Thank you so much for clicking on today's video. JW Creewall, aka FlexDaddy, and this is the best place to be to learn about the Pokemon TCG and have some fun along the way. Now, today's video is a bit of an announcement, I guess, or a reveal. I don't know. I was recently accepted to be a Pokemon partner at the Pokemon World Championships here in Anaheim in 2025. So, I mean, hopefully I can qualify as a player. I'm technically on pace, but there's still some work to do in the last couple of tournaments before the season ends. But either way, I will have a badge to attend the World Championships. And so, why is this a video that I'm making right now? Well, I am kind of sad about it. I'm a little bit sad about it. There's a couple of reasons why. I should say I have mixed emotions. I'm not sad about receiving an invitation to go, but I am sad about some of the discourse surrounding players and creators, and it just I was excited to like post about it on my social media, and then I opened social media and I saw a lot of kind of negative attitude toward what access creators have, and what benefits might come with that, right? I don't want to like, this is not putting anyone on blast here, but this is just an example of some of the some of the discourse that I saw, right? So Dre says here, happy for all the creators to get invites. Just a reminder, though, that competitors get shafted almost every year and deserve the priority access to the world's Pokemon Center. So that's kind of been the crux of the argument for, I don't know, the last 3 or 4 years surrounding the Pokemon Center, right? Is that as the company has put more resources into Worlds, as the spectacle of the event has gotten bigger and bigger and more to like an esports globalized level, there has been more and more demand for the exclusive merchandise found in the World's store. Now, with the advent of this creator program, or the Pokemon Company International trying to encourage more eyeballs and more impressions and more just views on their games and their world championships, like their product, right? They have developed and curated a laundry list of various influencers and creators to attend the world championships. And so Dre makes a good point here in saying that, in many cases, these creators would get priority access, right? First access into the Pokemon Center, and that's not necessarily anything new. But competitors generally are left to duke it out amongst the masses for a Pokemon Center invitation. So that is kind of the first thing I was like, oh man, I'm like seeing all this, and then it's not, again, it's just this is the one post in kind of a larger discussion. Again, this is not making any commentary on this thought. It's just, it affected me in a way that I didn't think it would when making this being invited to the World Championships. Now, I do understand that there may be some changes coming to how competitors have access to the world's Pokemon Center. I don't know if it's going to be exactly the same as it was in years past, but I do know that in the past, that there has been this perceived like, oh, influencers get to go into the store and they get to buy all the stuff, and then everybody else has to hope that they get an online reservation to come into the Pokemon Center. So that's the first thing that I'm kind of sad about. The second thing that I'm kind of sad about just comes to the I don't know. It's like kind of related, right? It's like the corporatization of Pokemon, and this is like I'm happy about it and I'm sad about it. I have mixed emotions about it, because on the one hand, I love the game and I want to see this game grow to as big as it can possibly be. But on the other hand, it's very corporatized, and it's very uh there are a lot of um I don't know, how do you say it, like, we will never go back to the old days. We are past the point of going back to the old days. And I'm not even talking like I even missed, I'm an old head maybe to you, maybe to the average viewer of whoever clicks on this video, right? Who maybe started COVID or in the last couple of years, which is the majority of players that I talk to. But, so there are people older than me that have even more history to reveal about the world championships. But, we will never go back to the way that Worlds was in the past. And that also is like, it's just kind of sad to me. I don't know, like, I had these dual emotions. Like, of course I want the game to grow as big as it possibly can, and to do that in today's current climate, you really need to rely on influencers and, video clicks and just as much attention as you can possibly get. And that's a good thing. I think this game deserves, the game, I guess the franchise, all 4 games deserve the amount of recognition that they're getting right now. But it'll never be what it was. And what do I mean by it'll never be what it was? Well, one thing that I really think about when I think of the World Championships was like the open play gaming room. And about a decade ago, when the World Championships were a lot smaller, it was a lot easier to get access, and they had a in the hotel, in the convention center, they'd have a room dedicated to just open gaming. And I guess you could argue that that's the main event hall now, so fair enough. But yeah, back then, you just go in and you meet all these people from all across the world, and you trade sleeves from America for sleeves from Japan, and you get, I have like a treasure trove of just all these little trinkets that I got in the open gaming area and the trading area. I remember going in through the trading area, like, we'll never be back here. We'll never be back here. But you could buy and sell cards for just ridiculously cheap prices. Like, I sold one year, and this may be embarrassing to admit, but I sold one year a pack of my competitor promos. And a good price back then, believe it or not, was $70. So I remember I just, 70, and maybe the scalper sold them for scalper. I say scalper. The person that I sold them to maybe flipped them for $120, right? So he wasn't making, insane profits. Like, I sold it for 70, he might've flipped it for 120, but that was just how it was back in that day. And we'll never be back to that, right? We'll never be back to that. The whole event will be, it's a big corporate spectacle. Again, I just have mixed emotions on this, and it'll never have that homey feel, at least not in the last 3 years that I've been going. It hasn't had that it's just, there's a magic to the spectacle, 100%. There's a magic to it, and I think they're doing a lot of great things. There's also just, I feel a part of me is this kind of is gone, right? The worlds will never be the same, and that's cool. And it's like, it's moving on, it's evolving, I guess you could say. But I think really, for me, it's like cherishing those good times. And this invitation to come to the World Championships as a content creator is just giving me a lot of mixed emotions. So if you're an old head and you know about how things used to be at Worlds, a smaller venue, not all this like hype driven content surrounding, right? It was very like raw content, I felt like, surrounding the World Championship. Like, man, I remember a decade ago we had Puka, commenting over what essentially amounted to like a webcam feed of the top 8 matches. That's what we're talking about. Like, we're talking about like homegrown, authentic, basically like what amounted to like a backyard gathering of all the diehard Pokemon fans. And we're just past that. So, part of that's cool again. And part of that, I'm like, I wish there was more room for authenticity and part of me mourns that we'll never be back to where we were, and that's kind of that is representative, right, through this through the creator program that I was invited to attend. So all that to say, maybe I didn't get my point across very well, but thank you for watching. If you liked this kind of content, please make sure to like and subscribe, because we're going to be posting more videos like this in the future. So thank you so much, and God bless. If I don't see you soon, I'll see you later. And remember, good luck, and also have fun.